Hello again at Fire and Hammer Evangelism Ministry. Think carefully about the following story I'm about to tell you. There's a father and a son out on a camping trip near a lake full of alligators. The son wants to go fishing, so the father says to the son, "That's fine, but fish only off of the dock. Do not take a boat out there because that lake is full of alligators. Stay on the dock where you will be safe." So the father, while he's setting up the tent and the cooking gear and everything else, the son picks up his pole and his bait, and he starts fishing off of the dock, obedient to his father. But as he sees the alligators out there thrashing around in the water, and he sees a boat tied to the dock, he thinks to himself, wow, it would be kind of intense, kind of fun to be out there among those alligators. It couldn't hurt just this one time to sneak out there on the boat. Surely I'll be safe. My dad is just overreacting. So he gets into the boat and he paddles on out there. And man, he's just thinking how exciting this is. All these alligators thrashing around while he's out there fishing. But a large alligator comes alongside and with his tail knocks the boat over, capsizes the boat. The son is thrown into the water. Well, hearing the commotion, the father looks out there, he sees what's going on, and with no thought to his own safety, he runs down the dock and he dives headlong into the water. He swims as quickly as he can out there to his son. He puts his son back up into the safety of the boat, and just as he is about to try to pull himself up into the boat, a large alligator grabs him by the legs and pulls him under. And all the son sees is a big pool of blood and little bits of clothing and flesh floating to the surface. Now what does the son do? Does he say to himself, my own desire to do what I wanted to do, to just do whatever I thought was best, to make up my own rules of safety, cost my father his life? Or does he say to himself, wow, thanks a lot, Dad. I'm going to go ahead on back out in the boat and keep on fishing a bit more because it's really exciting. Appreciate what you did, but I'm going to keep on doing what I want to do. And this is the problem that so many are left with when they've been presented with a gospel that does not give any follow-up, you see. We cannot leave them with okay, great, so you believe, you're saved, you're secure, you're going to heaven, and never tell them what the cost of the rest of this life is going to be. A salvation is not a true one where it is not followed up with the evidence of life. The evidence of life is a hatred of our former sin, a disgust with everything that is against God, a new way of living which works really hard, along with the power of the Holy Spirit, of course, because we cannot do it ourselves, but works really hard at now obeying God and living for His glory and never turning back to our old ways. Now, Martin Luther once said, you can't stop the birds from flying around your head, but you can stop them from making a nest in your hair. Once in a while, thoughts of our old life, even for a moment, pleasurable thoughts, might creep through our mind, but we must snatch those out of the air and cast them down to the ground and stomp on them and not let them become an action for us, not dwell on them. You see, we cannot be like the son who said, yep, thanks, Dad, appreciate all that, but I really love fishing among these alligators. We must be like the other version of the son who said, my father had to die because I was stupid. I hate fishing. I hate crocodiles. I hate boats. I'm never going to do that again. So remember that as you wrap up a gospel presentation with someone who is responding positively. Teach them, instruct them about what this does cost from that point onward. It costs a turning away from the old and a full embracing of and obedience to the new. Remember, Jesus said, the one who puts his hand to the plow but turns around to look back where he came from cannot follow me. He also said, the one who does not take up his own cross and die cannot follow me. So be sure that you're instructing people in that, okay? Don't just leave them hanging on a hope that they are saved, but their life never changes. Their life must change. Their life will change if God did truly save them under the preaching of the gospel.